Hey y'all, welcome back to Wellness Wednesday. Let's get to it. So today I want to talk about guilt and shame, specifically unchecked guilt and shame. I think a lot of us are walking around with that unchecked guilt and shame, and it is contributing to the development of anxiety and depression and a lot of other things that we're struggling with internally. As someone who, I say this all the time, I don't really have a middle ground. That's something I'm working on. I am someone I'm an intellectual. I have a master's degree. I believe in education. I went that specific route. That was something that was instilled in me, and so that's something that I did. I'm also a creative. I'm a blogger. I really love art. I really love music. I really love just the creative portion of me, I guess. And so for someone who, does both, but also doesn't really have a middle ground, it can become frustrating. And when making like certain decisions, making certain moves, whether it's with my career, with my creative side, figuring out, okay, like what is it that I want to do? What is best for me? And I think a lot of times, I say this all the time, that decision making can be impacted by what's going on around us instead of us focusing on what's going on within us. And I think that for me, sometimes that contributes to unchecked guilt and shame. And using, the career and the creative part was just an example, but a lot of us just aren't really deeply in touch with who we truly are. And we operate in a way that at least we think that, again, will please other people or will, kind of make other people happy. But the minute that we operate in a way that's true to us, or that we feel that is true to us, sparks the unchecked guilt and shame. And then we start having these thoughts that kind of spiral out of control, and you're really battling. It's really like an internal battle. You're battling with yourself because you want to be who you truly are, but there's this kind of, not really a facade, but it's like two versions of you. There's the you that you want to truly be, and there's the you that you present to the world. And when you're not making decisions that are true to yourself, you will have like a lot of guilt and a lot of shame, like feeling guilty for not making the decisions that you know are best for you. But the minute that you switch it around and make a decision that's best for you, you're feeling guilty because you made a decision that kind of goes against what you present to other people and what other people expect from you. So all of this, I always bring it together. At the end of the day, it's very important that we become aligned with ourselves and to really figure out what it is that we want to do and who it is that we want to be and how we present ourselves in the world. At the end of the day, I said this in the last Wellness Wednesday video, when the smoke clears, we are the ones who have to deal with the consequences of the decisions that we make. And so there's no reason for us to be walking around carrying all this guilt and shame for making, what we perceive to be the wrong decision or a decision that didn't please everybody else. But at the end of the day, what's going to make you happy? What's going to bring you peace? When you walk through the door, when you're going wherever, when it's just you, what's going to bring you peace? Did you make decisions that settle well within your spirit and that were true to you? It can be difficult, speaking from experience, it can be difficult to begin making decisions in a certain way when that kind of goes against maybe the way that you've been raised or the way that you have previously presented yourself in the world. That's difficult, and I know that from experience. But the best, I guess, piece of advice that I can offer is that your peace of mind is priceless. And the only way, honestly, that you're going to be able to maintain your peace of mind is if you're true to yourself. Because when we live in a way that forces us to kind of have this double life, doing things sometimes that please us, but doing things that sometimes, appease other and make us presentable in their sight, is going to cause confusion and chaos. And like I said, I think that contributes to a lot of anxiety, depression, other things that are going on in our minds and in our spirits, when in some cases it doesn't have to be that way. So think about some of the areas in your life where you have some unchecked guilt and shame. Think about why it's there. What caused it to get there? What is the root of this unchecked guilt and shame? Then we're going to go ahead on and we're going to check it. We're going to acknowledge it. We're going to figure out, okay, how can I work through this? What decisions do I need to make? Who do I need to make decisions about? Who I have in my social circle? Who accepts me for me? Who, doesn't accept me for me? who am I? How do I present myself? Do I present myself as who I truly am or who I think I should be in the world? All of those things really contribute to that whole guilt and shame idea. And it's not an easy thing to break away from, making decisions, to maintain, I guess, an image, so to speak, or to just make sure that you are who you've been raised to be, so to speak, or who, you represent everybody else well, but you represent yourself well, So I said all of that. Hopefully you got something from it, but guilt and shame is something that we don't have to carry. Just to be honest, y'all, guilt and shame is something that doesn't belong to us. And so you can lay it down whenever you're ready, but just do the work and you'll get there. So that's all for Wellness Wednesday this week. I'll see y'all next time. Be well.